Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Habs Absolute Hawk here. Welcome back to another video on the show. Today's video, I'm going to be doing my final mock draft of 2023, and I'm so excited to do it because tomorrow is draft day, and this is the final one I'm going to be doing this year because it's draft day tomorrow, round one tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing the first 30-second pick. If you wonder why, if you wonder why the Abs have the 31st pick, it's because Montreal traded the 31st pick. Like I said, earlier today, 31st, 37th overall, and Gianni Fairweather for that Alex Newhook deal. That's why they have the 31st overall. And let's get started to this video because I'm excited to do it. So the Chicago Blackhawks, you already know what this is coming through, and I have them picking Connor Bedard. The guy, the generational talent is in him, and there's no way Chicago passes on to this guy because he's generational. He's gonna be a 120 point plus play player in the future. 100 points, 120 plus in the future, maybe even more. He's generational. He's gonna be a talent. He's generational talent. With him playing with Taylor Hall and potentially Anthony Seawood, Nick Foligno, that's a dub. You're getting a veteran. You're getting a good player to help, but boost his value, boost how he plays in the team. I feel Connor Bedard's an amazing fit for Chicago. He'll do amazing first center in the future, and I love it a lot for Chicago. I like Connor Bedard. It's a fantastic pick for Chicago. That's why I'm giving Chicago Connor Bedard because I love it a lot. So it goes to second overall, Anaheim Ducks, and I have them selecting Adam Fantilli. Adam Fantilli is such a dynamic center. He played for the he played for the Michigan. He played for Michigan in the NCAA, and he's been a fantastic center for them. He can play left wing. He's a fantastic guy. He would be fantastic with Trevor Zegras and McTavish. And like I said, I did hear that they wanted me. They could have picked Mishkov. In the answer, I heard Mishkov rumors. I heard Carlson rumors that they could go for. But I have Anaheim picking Adam Fantilli. Adam Fantilli is a dynamic player. I love it a lot for Anaheim. He's going to be a great future. He has the preference to be at 85 to 95 point range. I love it a lot for Anaheim if they go after him. And that's why I give Anaheim Adam Fantilli. He's going to be a beautiful guy, player in the future. And I love Adam Fantilli. And that would be a basic pick. Number 3. This is where I go with a pick that's different. I love this pick that I'm going to pick for them. I like it a lot. I feel like Columbus Carolina is going to go with something different. I feel like the GM of Columbus is going to do something different like they do every year. I give them the one and only center, Will Smith. The reason why I think they could pass on Leo Carlson is because I could see this guy being a better player in the future than Leo Carlson. And they said that they want a franchise center. They might take an American guy, and they might take Will Smith. Will Smith has the talent to play good. He could be amazing with Gaudreau and Laine in the future. I love this pick a lot if they do that. If they get Lindholm too, could be an amazing top 6 with Will Smith. Will Smith is a guy that I could see beautifully fit with the Columbus Blue Jackets. I love it a lot for them. They get a guy that plays well, dynamic. He just destroyed the U.S. national team. He destroyed the U.S. NDTP. He's played amazing. Smith spent like 120 point guy in the U.S. national team, and I like him a lot. I feel like he'll be fantastic for Columbus. That's why the latest I see him dropping is number 5 to Montreal, but I don't see Montreal getting a chance at it because I feel like he'll go either 3 or 4. I don't see. I would love Mike Will Smith. I would love this guy, but I feel like he's gonna drop to Columbus at number 3. So number 4, I have the San Jose Sharks picking one and only from Sweden, Leo Carlson. Leo Carlson is a dynamic center that San Jose would love to have on their team. He's fantastic. He plays with great speed. He has good shots. I love this pick for San Jose. He would be a fantastic fit in the centerpiece of San Jose. I heard he can play winger if he has to. He's an amazing player. I love this pick for San Jose. They get a guy that is dominant. They get a guy that is really good. I love this pick for San Jose. I really love this pick for San Jose. There's no way you pass this guy if Will Smith's taking it. Will Smith's taking it free, and Leo Carlson's there. Dude, you do not pass it out of that guy. He's amazing. He plays with drive, speed. I love his skill. I feel like 1 year back to Sweden would be a good pass for him. I love it a lot. And I feel like even that, when you give him a 9-game test in the NHL, if he plays dominant, keep him in. If he doesn't, you put him back to Sweden. You get him to play well. And I feel like this guy would be a dominant pick. That's why I give San Jose number 4. I love this pick a lot for San Jose. Number 5. This is a pick that I actually don't like the interest of it. But I feel like it's going to happen between what happened today and all the talks and all that. I have Montreal Canadiens selecting one and only from Russia, Matvei Michkov. I would, even though I wouldn't be like overly mad because Michkov is a dominant player. He's overall the second best player in this draft, beside Bedard. And this guy has good talent, super talent, could be generational. He's a Russia guy. He knows how to play. I love his offense game. His offense game is insane. Even though he's a smaller guy, 5'10", not that much poundy guy. He's not a overly big guy. But you would have to wait 3 years. I feel like Matvei Michkov would be an interesting pick for Montreal. Even though I do like the fit, but that the future you get a white man of Caulfield or Michkov and then Caulfield. But like, I don't like the way that I heard there was concerns with his attitude and all that. That's kind of a problem in his personality concerns. That's what I heard. But if Montreal really wants, and I heard it went very well with the interview with Kent Hughes, and I feel like Montreal might take a stab at this guy in Matvei Michkov, and he could look like a seal of the future for the Montreal Canadiens. Matvei Michkov, but you have to wait 3 years. But I would kind of be fine with it, honestly, even though I would not be too overly happy with this pick. But I can't be overly mad. He's a good player. So I feel like Montreal would be a fantastic fit for Matvei Michkov, and that's why I give Montreal Matvei Michkov. There we go. That move 6. The Arizona Coyotes. I have Arizona Coyotes selected David Weinbacher. The only reason why I have the Arizona Coyotes selected David Weinbacher is because I heard rumors that they are very high in David Weinbacher. He could be a defensive player for them, but I could also see them maybe potentially using that pick for the 12 overall. I could easily see that too. But I feel like David Weinbacher is a good player. He plays a very defensive offense game, in my opinion. I've seen his highlights. He knows how to shoot. He knows how to get the puck, and he's really a good player. Like, I made a video about him like a month ago, about his skill and all that, and about why I want David Weinbacher, but I don't feel like David Weinbacher fits the Habs system. Even though this guy would be a very good defenseman for the Habs if they do somehow pick David Weinbacher 5th overall, but I don't see it happening. I feel like Arizona would love a guy like David Weinbacher. He adds so much skill to the locker room. And I actually love David Weinbacher. I feel it could be a perfect fit for Arizona. That's why I have Arizona picking David Weinbacher. Number 7, Philadelphia Flyers. I see them picking a gritty guy who knows in front of the net, and this guy will be Ryan Leonard. Very fast speed guy. He knows how to shoot the puck. He knows to get in front of the nets. And I feel like this gritty guy could be a fantastic fit for Arizona. Philadelphia, I mean. Ryan Leonard is a type of player, in my opinion, that could be an offense threat to the Philadelphia's future. And I would love Ryan Leonard on my team. He's another guy I really would love Montreal to pick. He's a fantastic guy. I feel like Montreal would love a Ryan Leonard. Even though Philadelphia, I feel like Ryan Leonard fits the Philadelphia Flyers system a lot more. And he's going to be a great guy to be in the top 6 of the future of the Philadelphia Flyers. And that's why I have them taking one and only Ryan Leonard. Ryan Leonard is just the type of guy, in my opinion, that will be like 75 to like 85 point guy. I feel like this guy has a higher upside, but his potential is not going to be as good as Will Smith in Matvei Michkov, in my opinion. That's why I have them taking Ryan Leonard. Washington Capitals. This is interesting to me because I have them taking Dalibor Dvorsky because we heard rumors that they wanted Matvei Michkov. I can see potentially of Washington and Montreal might make some switch in the puck or the trade. that Dalibor Dvorsky might go to Montreal, and now that Dvorsky doesn't get drafted in 8th overall, and that Matvei Michkov goes to Washington and Zach Benson going to Montreal in the 8th pick. I could see a possibility of that happening, but I do not want that to happen. I would love Matvei Michkov, even though, like I said, Dalibor Dvorsky, great center in the future. And I feel like Washington could use a center because Nicholas Backstrom is going to retire in a few years, and I feel like you have to stick by your center future, and you need a guy that will play well to your team, and I feel like Dalibor Dvorsky is the guy. I heard rumors that they might want Carly Barlow, like a guy like Kobe Barlow, guys like, I heard Mishkov too they want, but I feel like Dvorsky is the type of guy that would fit their system, would fit well. He's a young guy, he knows how to play, and I love the way he shoots. He's a really good shooter, and he knows how to play. He's a Slovakian, and I feel like he would be perfectly fit for Washington's future. For the Detroit Red Wings, I have them selecting one and only from the Winnipeg Ice, Zach Benson. Zach Benson's a good forward. I love this guy. He's speedy, he's underrated, and I feel like he's a sleeper in this draft. Zach Benson has the skill to be a speedy guy. He's a good shooter, and I feel like he can get into the nets very easily with how tall he is. Like, he could sneak the puck and he could shoot it and score. He's a left winger. Detroit can use a guy like that. Wayman and Benson, that's a perfect match fit for the future. I love Detroit's way, and there's a chance that they could potentially get DeWink at 2. And if Benson put in that case, their top 6 going to be nasty in the future. And I love Zach Benson. Zach Benson's a good player, and I feel like Steve Yzerman could use that move. Zach Benson is a type of guy you would love. His skating is unreal, and I feel like he could use a year back in the Winnipeg Ice, be a guy that will play dominant in the WHL, and I love Zach Benson. I feel like this would be a fantastic fit for Detroit. That's why I have Detroit picking Zach Benson. So here comes the 10. In the 10, this is obvious in my opinion. I have them picking St. Louis picking Oliver Moore. Oliver Moore, speedy forward. He knows how to get to the nets very fast. He knows how to shoot. He can go past defenses pretty well. He has a good defensive aim. No, a good offensive aim. He's good on the outside, the offensive side, and I love this kid. Oliver Moore is the type of player I would love on my team, but I feel like he's too early. He's a guy that will be probably a 65 to 75 point mark in the future. I love Oliver Moore, and I feel like this guy would be fantastic in a St. Louis jersey. And if you saw it during his U.S. national team, he's been an amazing offensive threat in the speed ride, and I love the way he plays. He's an amazing player, and I feel like St. Louis would use a guy that I feel like could fit him pretty well. That's why I have St. Louis picking Oliver Moore. So it is Vancouver's pick, and these are interesting ones, because I could have them picking Axel Sandin-Pellikka or even Tom Willander. But I have Vancouver picking an interesting pick, and I have them picking Dmitry Shemashev. Dmitry Shemashev, defenseman, and I love this guy's speed. I feel like he knows how to control the puck well, and you have an offense in your prospect system of Quinn. Yeah, not prospect system. You have an offensive young guy in your team that's an offensive guy, and that's Quinn Hughes. He's a left defenseman. Dmitry Shemashev is a right defenseman, and I love this pick for Vancouver. I feel like this would be a fantastic pick for them. Dmitry Shemashev displays defensive to your team, grit to your team, knows how to control the puck, knows how to pass well, and he's just one of those guys. I feel like that would be a fantastic guy hopping on to Vancouver. Dmitry Shemashev is one of my favorites defensemen into this draft, other than Pellikka. It's Pellikka and Shemashev. Shemashev is a Russian player, and I love Dmitry Shemashev. He's just that type of talent, and I feel like you cannot miss out of that talent. He's a good player, and there's no shot that you miss out of this guy. And that's why I give them, Vancouver give Dmitry Shemashev. So number 12, this is an interesting one, because I had them picking a defenseman this pick, but I could also see them picking a forward in number 12. So the forward that I have them selecting from the WHL, I think, Kobe Barlow. Kobe Barlow is an unreal talent player. Kobe Barlow brings so much to your team, and I love Kobe Barlow. Kobe Barlow's a sniper guy, and this is a guy you would dream to have on your team. You would dream to have a guy like him. He's a good scorer. He knows how to play. He played for the OHL, Owen Sound Attack. And that's the team Suzuki played. He plays a similar sniping offensive game. He's an offensive threat, and I feel like Kobe Bell could be used for as a great second line left wing in the future. I love this. I would love this pick for Arizona. He's an offensive guy. He knows how to score. He knows how to get to the ends, and I feel like this guy has good control and speedy skate ability. He knows how to score. And I feel like Kobe Bell could make the NHL, not instantly, but probably either a year or two later. Because Kobe Bell is definitely a guy that I could see make the NHL, and he's a great pick for Arizona. If Arizona wants to go up and get Kobe Bell, he's an amazing pick. He brings that offensive to your team. Kobe Bell is a fantastic player, and I would actually love to have a Kobe Bell on your team if Montreal could somehow get straight up a bit. If they do get a pick somehow in around the 10-15 area, I would love them to go for that, but I have Arizona picking Kobe Bell. Buffalo Sabres, I could have went for an offense guy. I could have went for a forward, but I feel like Buffalo would really love, and he's still on the board surprisingly. I have them picking Axel, offensive defenseman, Axel Sandin Pellikka. Axel Sandin Pellikka is an offense dynamite out there. He's a light defenseman in my opinion, and I feel like Axel Sandin Pellikka brings that type of game, brings the grit, and I love Axel Sandin Pellikka. He's an awesome defenseman, shoots right, because you already have the left defenseman of Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Power. Bring a white shot defenseman. Let Axel Sandin Pellikka play with a guy like Owen Power. That would be a great fit for the future. And then you're going to need to go and find a guy to play with Rasmus Dahlin, because I think Rasmus Dahlin is an offensive defenseman. Axel Sandin Pellikka is another offense defenseman, in my opinion. So I feel like Owen Power and him would be a good fit together, and that means you got to find a guy to play with Rasmus Dahlin, and I love this for Buffalo. This would be a Ciola pick, and Axel Sandin Pellikka brings that offense vibe to your team. He could be an awesome of like a 12 to 18 goal scorer in the future, every season. He could be an offense guy, potentially like a 60 to like a 70 point guy at defenseman. And I love this pick for Buffalo. Buffalo gets a guy that can play well offensively. He controls the puck well. I love this pick for Buffalo because it adds so much offense to your team. That's why Axel Sandin Pellikka brings that fit, and I love it for Buffalo. That's why I have Buffalo taking Axel Sandin Pellikka at number 13. And number 14, most of you guys are going to be surprised with this pick. But I have them selecting one and only from the Moose Jaw Warriors, WHL, one and only. Say welcome to Brayden Yager. Brayden Yager is a guy that dropped extremely in this draft. He was basically supposed to be like a 7 to like a 11 to like a top 7 to like a 10 pick at the beginning of the season. He's dropped humongously because his skating is kind of concerning a bit, and if you look at the way he plays, he's definitely one of the guys that I find that can be amazing for them. He adds to the team. He adds built offense or defense, if you want to call it. I feel like he's an offensive guy. He has similar stats a bit if you look at WHL version as Nick Suzuki. I feel like this guy could be like, no, I'm not saying he's going to be Nick Suzuki. I'm not going to say he's going to be as good as the Montreal Canadiens as Nick Suzuki. But I'm going to say that he could bring lots of offense to your team. And I love the way Brayden Yager is. Second center of the future for your Pittsburgh Penguins. And that would be an amazing pick for Pittsburgh. You get Malkin gone in the next few years, probably. Crosby's probably going to leave your team in the next few years. And I feel like you're going to need to get a replacement. And Brayden Yager is that guy that can bring that in a few years when they leave. Brayden Yager is a guy that has that offensive skill, plays well when you have to. And I actually love this pick for Pittsburgh. You get a guy that but he's going to need to skate better. I feel like he's not an NHL ready guy. But in my opinion, he's going to need 2 to 3 years to develop. Because I feel like this guy needs to get better at his skating skill. He needs to get better at playing NHL, playing skill in NHL. And I feel like this would be a amazing fit for Pittsburgh in the future. And I heard rumors that Dubas took him out for lunch or something. So I feel like this would be an interesting deal for him. That's why I have Pittsburgh taking him at number 14. So number 15. Interesting for Barry Trotz. Barry Trotz, I feel like Nashville's going to go for an interesting pick here. And I have Nashville picking one and only Edward Sale. Edward Sale. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But I'm going to say Edward Sale, or like something like that. Edward Sale is an interesting one because he did drop 2 in this draft. He was supposed to be like a top 10 pick, a top 12 pick. I feel like this guy's going to drop. There's just reasons why it believes me that this guy's going to drop. Even though he's a great offensive player, and I feel like he would be an amazing fit for Nashville. Nashville is probably going to take a look at this guy and say, oh, we might need this guy on our team. Oh, we might need a guy like that. And I feel like this is an amazing pick for Nashville because he brings that offense to the team. He's an awesome right winger, and he could bring the top 6 to a good team. Like, you already bought Joakim Kamel last season. If you look up, you bought Joakim Kamel. Joakim Kamel is a white winger. You already get your top 2 white winger in the future from another country. This guy's Finland, and Sale is Czechia. You get 2 great guys from different countries, and playing with this beautiful stats. There's no way you take a look at that and you say, oh, I don't want Edward Sale. Edward Sale brings offense to your team, and I think Nashville could use a guy like that. Great pick for him, and I feel like this guy could work on a few things. He needs to work on a few things. He's not NHL ready. I say 1 to 2 years, potentially 2 years at most, but at less, in my opinion, most. I think this guy needs to practice back in Czechia next season, or go somewhere else, or something. But I feel like he's mostly gonna go back to Czechia. He's gonna prove to the team who drafts him that he deserved to be drafted, and I feel like he'd be a fantastic guy for them. And I love this pick for Nashville if they go for him, and that's why I have Nashville picking number 15. Number 16, I'm halfway in this mock draft, and I have Calgary Flames selecting. This is gonna be a sealed draft, and I have them selecting from the WHL, Nate Danielson. The reason why I have Nate Danielson right here, because I could see potentially, I could potentially also see Arizona going for Nate Danielson. I could also see Pittsburgh going for Nate Danielson. But I have Calgary taking Nate Danielson because I feel like this is the type of guy that you're gonna want on your team. He's gonna be a great dynamic player, and I actually love this pick for Calgary. Calgary needs a guy like Nate Danielson from the Brandon Wheat Canes. He's been amazing. 33 goals, 45 assists, 78 points in 68 games. He's an amazing guy, and I feel like Nate Danielson would be a fantastic guy for them. And I feel like Calgary could use a guy like that. And you need to build center depth for it. You need to build center in the future up front. And I feel like Nate Danielson could be the guy to be the second or first line guy in the future for the Calgary Flames. And I actually love Nate Danielson. I feel like he would be a great pick for them. And that's why I have Calgary taking Nate Danielson. He's great offensively altogether, and I feel like it would be amazing for Calgary. Number 17, Detroit Red Wings. And I have them selecting another surprising pick and another guy that kind of did fall. And I have them selecting Gabriel Perreault. Gabriel Perreault is a type of player that you need on your team. Gabriel Perreault is an awesome player, and I feel like this guy could bring so much to your team. He's been a great, awesome, insane forward. 18 points in some games. He's an offensive threat. He's 132 points in 63 national team games. He exploded the USSHL. He's been amazing last year for the U national team. And he's been an awesome player altogether. And I feel like Detroit would take a look at this guy in the new national team. He's a white winger, like I said. The first pick that I put to Detroit is a left winger, as I mentioned. But I feel like Gabriel could fit that with Zach Benson. They would be a great fit together, in my opinion. Playmaking, Zach Benson with like a close to a sniperly two-way forward. A sniperly Gabriel Perreault. And I feel like that would fit Detroit. Detroit could use a guy like that. And I feel like much love Gabriel Perreault was a good pick for Detroit. And I feel like I love Gabriel Perreault a lot. He brings offense to your team, and he brings a lot. And he's good. He's good. He just needs to get better a bit, in my opinion. I feel like that he needs to. He has great hands and sees ice especially well. And I feel like that this guy can draw forechecks. Like he could be he's a great teammate, I feel like, and he's a deceptive guy, and I feel like he could be a playmaking sniper. And I feel like it's a good pick for Detroit because they could fill up their top 6 with amazing forward depth, and they could fill up their. And they already have great defense now with Morris Seider. They have Morris Seider, and they have like a Wallander guy or something. I forgot his name. They have another defenseman core on their team, and I feel like I love their defense core, and I feel like they'll do well. And that's why I give Detroit one and only Gabriel Perreault. For number 18, I feel like this would suit Winnipeg pretty well, and I feel like that this guy can do something. I feel like he really could, and I feel like this guy feels like a Winnipegger. And I would really love this pick. He played for the NCAA this season, and this guy's an awesome big guy, and he's a big guy flat. He's 6'3", 190 pounds, and I love this for him. An Alberta guy. And Winnipeg, I had them selecting Matthew Wood. Great offense guy, big size, can forecheck while he can. He's a great scorer. He's a great assist guy, and I really love this pick for Winnipeg. I feel like he's a Winnipegger. He seems like a Winnipegger. 13 points in 7 Canada played for Canada and World Juniors. He had a goal per game, 7 goals, 6 assists, 30 points in 7 games. And NCAA, he's been a fantastic guy for NCAA. And I really love this pick for Winnipeg. I feel like he would blame this offense. They would suit them really well in the top 6 in the future. He's a left winger and left wing center. He could play center, but I feel like he could play left wing. He could replace Mike Shafley well in the future, and I feel like this big guy can be the guy for Winnipeg. And I love Shaz Lucius too, the player of Matthew Wood and that. And Matthew Wood, I feel like he could put some short checks if he has to. He's the type of guy that I feel like that Montreal could really use a guy like that. That's why I give Matthew Wood to Winnipeg. I feel like that's an amazing fit for Winnipeg. That's why I have them picking Matthew Wood. Number 19, Chicago Blackhawks. And I have them picking another defenseman, Tom Willinder. Tom Willinder is an awesome defenseman, and I feel like Winnipeg can use a guy like that. He is he's like a Sweden type of guy, and I feel like they can use him. He's a great player. 12 points in 19 Sweden games, 8 points in that, 8 points in 7 games in Sweden with Junior Cups. Internationals, he got 12 points, 25 points. He had lots of prove that he could be a defenseman guy, and he's going to Boston University next year. He's going to be playing with players like Lane Hudson. He's going to be playing with guys like Will Smith, and he's going to be playing with guys like I said, Ryan Leonard. And this guy is going to be an amazing player on the team, and I feel like Tom Willinder is a good defenseman. He has points. He gets a lot of points, and I really feel like Chicago can snap a guy like that and can play with a guy like Kevin Korchinski. Last year, they drafted this guy, and I feel like that's an amazing pick for him. Chicago would be thrilled to have a defenseman as their second pick, and that could fill up their defensive core, especially with especially with guys like I said, Kevin Korchinski. Amazing pick for Chicago. I feel like he would be an amazing D, first pair, second pair guy, top 4 defenseman for them in my opinion, and I feel like this is a fantastic pick for Chicago. That's why I give Chicago Tom Willinder. 20th pick. I have the Seattle Kraken selecting Andrew Crystal. Andrew Crystal is going to be a steal in my opinion. He's supposed to be like a top 12, top 15 pick, but I feel like that he's going to slip a bit because he had skating issues a bit during the season. His skating issues is the reason why he's probably going to drop. And I love his offense. He's a great offensive player, and his skating is kind of concerning, but I feel like Andrew Crystal could be the type of guy that can build up offense, and I love Andrew Crystal, and I actually wanted I kind of look stupid real quick. I kind of wanted the first place that Andrew Crystal dropped to Montreal fit, but I don't see that possibility happening anymore. I feel like that would be a super pick at the end. At first, I would have really loved him to be a Montreal pick, but this guy with Kelowna Rockets, he's just an amazing guy. He's an amazing offense, and I feel like Seattle, he fits Seattle's system in my opinion. Left winger, can play with guys like Matthew Beniers or even Shane White in the future. He's a guy that, in my opinion, brings this offense to his game. He brings he scores a lot, he gets a lot of assists, and I really love this pick very much for them. And I feel like this guy's a dynamic player. He's going to add that extra flash to every game he plays. He beats like defenders very well, like with his head fakes, his handling skills, and slick edges before cutting inside or finding a teammate burst into the slot. I feel like he's an awesome build around guy, and he's an effective playmaker. I feel like he's going to be a playmaker. He would be amazing to pass to guys like Matthew Beniers or even Shane Wright. That would be a perfect fit for Andrew Crystal, and I love Andrew Crystal, and I feel like this would be a fantastic fit for Seattle if they go after a guy like that. That's why I have Seattle drafting Andrew Crystal. For number 22, the Minnesota Wild. I feel like this is kind of interesting because I feel like they'll go after like a guy that has that heavy into their game, a guy that has that into the game. Even though they're looking for center in that, I feel like they could sign a guy in free agency for that. So I have them drafting from the NCAA that played with Adam Fittingley, University of Michigan. I have them selecting one and only Gavin Brindley. Gavin Brindley is 5'9", 175 pounds. He isn't a really tall guy, but he adds like grit to his game. He's a strong guy. He plays a 200-foot game kind of type of guy, and I feel like this guy knows how to is insane at his forechecks. He even beats defenders in my opinion. He's a high motor, and I feel like a guy like Minnesota could really fit a system like Gavin Brindley. Because I feel like this guy has the game to his game. He'll be a second line light winger for him, I feel like. Second or third line light winger, and I feel like this guy would bring dynamic to the game. Heavy gritness. He could be like a defensive guy for him, in my opinion. He's a high motor guy. I feel like he can pass the puck a lot to Kaprizov, get him a lot of goals, and I feel like this guy will be fantastic. Good future, and I love this guy a lot. He's motor, like I said, and I feel like this guy has the game to be like, he plays taller than his age. Like, he plays like a guy that is like 6'1", and he's like he's basically plays like a tall game. Like, it feels like he's tall on the ice, but he's really not. And he's like a guy that I feel like Minnesota would really love. And he'll do a lot of forechecks in that. And I feel like he'll be kind of a dirty dog. He'll be a dog. He's a dog on the ice, and I feel like Minnesota can use a guy like that. That's why I have Minnesota drafting Gavin Brindley. For this 22nd pick, I have the one and only Philadelphia Flyers selecting one and only Oliver Bach. I have a feeling that this guy could be a very great Philadelphia Flyer, and I sense it a lot. I feel like Oliver Bach, he's a 6'1" guy, 185 pounds. He's a great dominant guy on the ice. Played for the London Knights last season, the season that passed. This guy is a defensive player, and I feel like Flyers can use a defenseman like that, and I feel like it would suit him a lot. He had like 40 points in 67 games. He probably played with a guy like Logan Mailloux from Montreal, like similarity of that in 2021. That a lot of people did not want him to get drafted by the Montreal Canadiens, but he did. I feel like Oliver Bonk is a type of player that is going to be dynamite on the ice. Defensive player. Philadelphia, he seems like a Philadelphia fit. I feel like he's going to be a shutdown guy, shutdown defenseman. He makes sure that he backtracking ahead of offensive turnovers. He blocks the zone, the defensive zone, so no one goes towards him. And then he steals the puck from them on the back wall, and he's a very good pushes attackers. He pushes the attackers in the defensive zone and scans the ice behind him to stop backdoor plays. I feel like this guy's a fantastic defenseman, and I feel like this guy could be a fantastic guy in the future. And I feel like Philly can use a guy like that, a dirty player. I feel like that could shut down the other players from going to their zone. And I feel like Oliver Bonk is that. I feel like that's a Philadelphia move. I really feel like that's a Philadelphia move, because if you pick Ryan Leonard as a guy and as a dog that will go nosy into the net, I can see a guy like Oliver Moore to be the setup guy for him. And I feel like they'll go to another dirty dog in Oliver Bonk. That's why I have Philadelphia picking Oliver Bonk at 22. 23. The New York Rangers. I have this interesting pick. I have a feeling that they're going to go for a guy that's very, very, very interesting. And this guy, one and only from Russia, I have them selecting one and only defenseman, Mikhail Guryayev. This guy is a Russian. He knows how to play. This guy gets so much points, and I really love it for them. I even seen scouts put him in the second round. That's like 41 41, and that's fucking ridiculous. He's definitely a first round caliber in my opinion. And this guy definitely can bring that to them. And he's gonna be, and I feel like he's like a top 5 defenseman in this draft. He's a guy that can easily shut down the table. This guy can play well. This guy can do it. And I love this pick for Rangers. They get Mikhail Goryev. This guy is a fantastic defenseman, and I really love this pick for him. He would be fantastic in a Rangers jersey. Great, he's a great guy. And you really don't see a guy that has this type of game. He's a defensive guy. He's a defensive defenseman guy, and he knows how to play. And I feel like this guy will be a great defensive guy for Rangers. And playing with an offensive guy like Brandon Schneider that they got in 2020 draft. And this guy, Brandon Schneider. And I feel like this guy would be a fantastic guy to play with Brandon Schneider in the future. Or a guy like Donji Miller. I don't know if I pronounced his name right. Let me see. Conjure Miller. I feel like he'll be a fantastic guy to play with him. And I love this pick a lot for the Rangers. And I feel like this guy will be a fantastic pick for the Rangers. That's why I have them picking, like I said, Mikhail Goryev. Nashville Predators. Interesting pick. And I have them picking one and only. I have them picking another forward. And I think this is interesting because I feel like they will pick a guy that's interesting. And Odin Soberg is a type of guy. And I have them picking Odo Sundberg. Odo Sundberg is a good forward. He knows how to hit puck. He's good with his hip. He's creative. He's broke down and dangled past. He's a good dangler. He's a great manipulator. He's on the boards and is great body position. He's a great body position. Pushes against opponents with his back. He keeps the puck with his possession. He's a great controller. He controls the puck pretty well. He gets a lot of goals, 32 points in 19 games in internationals. He's a fantastic player, 16 points. He's a fantastic player, and I feel like a guy like them will draft a guy like Odin Soberg. I feel interested that they will because I feel like this guy could be a center or a winger, and this guy could be a fantastic play for Nashville, and I feel like Nashville can use a guy like that. A guy that has that body into him. He could use the body if he can. He's a good puck control. He keeps the possession in his sick, and he tries not to get the other players to take his puck away. This guy in the future, I feel like he'll be a great second, third line guy. Maybe first line if he keeps playing good. This guy will probably need some, like, shy. He's going back to Finlandia AC, and he's going to be playing in the Sweden U20s next year. And I love this pick for Nashville. If they use the third pick on Otto Sundberg, like I said, this would be a fantastic pick. You get a guy in Otto Sundberg, and then you get a guy like Andrew Sally. That will help your team a lot. And I very much love this pick for Nashville because I feel like Otto Sundberg could be a really good player for them. And I love this pick a lot. And I feel like Nashville will love this guy. So that's why I have Nashville picking him because he'd be a great fit for him. So number 25, and that's why I have the number 24. So number 25, this is where the interesting part comes. Because some people have this player in the second round. And is going to play for the University of North Dakota next season. And this guy's been a fantastic guy in the USHL for the Chicago Seal. This guy's a fantastic player. So I'm gonna and like I said, I feel like, and this is why I have St. Louis drafting Jaden Pallon. Jaden Pallon is a great offensive guy, and he brings dynamite to a team. He's a great playmaker, sellable playmaker with the puck, utilizing the deke when necessary, but also having the maturity. He's a mature guy to delay when he's outnumbered. When he's outnumbered on the ice, he's a good mature guy to delay the puck. So he's a dangerous sick handler and can turn a careless reach from a defender into a high quality scoring. He could create high scoring chances for himself or a teammate. He's very good at. He's got very good with the puck in the offensive zone. And he's a high ceiling guy, and I feel like this guy could be fantastic for the St. Louis Blues. And St. Louis Blues can use a guy like that to play with guys like Oliver Moore. And this guy could be a great setup for Oliver Moore. Like I said, this guy's a great player, and I feel like Jaden Pallon would be a fantastic fit for St. Louis. And I don't think he's related to David Pallon, but I feel like that this will be a great pick for him if they draft him at 25th. And I feel like it could be either that or they could draft him at 29th overall. But I have him drafting 25th overall. And I love this pick for him a lot. That's why I have them picking one and only Jaden Palan. So number 26, I have the San Jose Sharks drafting one and only Wiley Hyde. Wiley Hyde is an interesting one. I feel like he dropped quite a bit. I'm going to be real. He kind of dropped quite a bit. And he's a great offensive guy. He's a great handler, shooter. He has great vision, great shooting, and great handling. And this guy is a nasty physical player. And I feel like he has great view on the ice. And he positions pretty well. And I very much love this pick for San Jose. They can use a guy like that to play with guys like Leo Carlson. Because we know Wiley Hunt can probably play the wing. He's a forward. Probably can play any position. I feel like this guy would be a fantastic playmaker towards Leo Carlson. This guy is nasty on the ice. He's a nasty physical player. He's 5'10", even though he's not an overly sized player. He's a very good player, and he's knocked out 97 points in 68 games, and I love this pick a lot for him. And that's why I feel like that's a good pick for, like I said, San Jose, because they get a point player, they get a guy that's played well. He's fallen pretty hard. The earliest he's supposed to go in draft might get to 17. He's fallen pretty hard. He was like a top 15 pick in my opinion before, and he's dropped pretty hard. And some drafts don't even have him in the first round. This guy I could see being a steal of the draft because this guy has a great physical play and he's great at shoot. And like I said, he has good IQ and he's good at vision. He has very good vision on the ice, and he's a good stick handler and he's a good shooter. And I feel like this guy could fit well for San Jose's caliber to play with a guy like Carlson. And that's why I have San Jose picking Wiley Hyde at number 26. This is an interesting one because I have the 27th overall Colorado Avalanche. This is not the pick that Montreal got off him. It's the second one they got off Montreal. So 27th overall is an interesting one because you don't really see this too often. I have them picking, like I said, a left winger, 6'5", 195 pound, a big guy. I have them picking one and only Daniel Bu. Daniel Bu is a physical guy, a tall guy. He's a machine on the ice, and he's coordinated, dexterous, and a creative. He's creative with the puck. His ability to chain difficult pass receptions. He's a great passer. And I feel like this guy is fantastic. He's capable of getting a shot on either leg. And he's good at releasing the puck. He's very fast release, and he can shoot. He's a great shooter, and I feel like this would be a fantastic pick for Colorado because they can use a guy like Daniel Bu. Daniel Bu is a fantastic forward. He's a great offensive guy, and I feel like he's remarkable. He'll be a great scorer in this league. I feel like he's a good point maker, and I can see this guy being like a 45 to 55 point guy in the future, maybe 60 or 65 if lucky. This is why this draft's so sacked, because there's so many players in this draft. Danny Beers is an offensive guy, and I really love this pick for Colorado. They get a guy, and he's going to the KHL next year. Fantastic player. He's a Russian, and he's amazing. And that's why I feel like Danny Beers could easily be a top 20 pick, but I feel like Russia's going to ruin him a bit to go up to 27 for Colorado. I feel Colorado's going to steal this guy because he has the real talent. And I really love this pick for Colorado. If they go for him, W. And when the first round job's done tomorrow, I'm going to be probably making a review, like the first round review. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you not enjoyed the video, I hope you guys enjoyed that pick. And I feel it could be good for Colorado. So I have Toronto next pick, and this is Toronto. I feel like they're going to go for a lucky shot here, and I feel like they're going to go for a defenseman. So I have them picking one and only Lucas Drasicevic. Lucas Drasicevic isn't a first-line guy, but the first-round guy. Even though I'm the picking a defenseman, he's mostly a second-round guy. He's mostly going to get drafted around the second-round range. Let's go to has him at 18, but I feel like he's going to be a great defensive guy. He gets good point percentages with Three City Americans, good numbers, and I feel like this guy could be a great offensive defenseman. Most forwards. Like, he's an offense guy, and I feel like he's gonna get potentially he can get 12 goals in and like a total of 50 points. This guy displays multiple numbers to your team. He's an offensive guy, and I love it a lot. This guy is a great offensive defenseman. He brings a lot, and this is what Toronto needs. They need defensive guys, like defensive guys that will bring off the offense to the team. That will bring fantastic team, and I love this pick for him. That's why I have Toronto picking Lucas Deshvicic. I think he's a good pick for him. It's either that or they draft a guy like Phil Linson. I feel like that they'll most likely draft Lucas Deshvicic if they can. And I feel like this is a fantastic pick for Toronto. The offensive guy, like I said, good point maker, and I feel like that's a good pick for Toronto. That's why I have Toronto picking number 28, Lucas Deshvicic. Deshvicic. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but damn. 29. The St. Louis Blues, and I feel like they're gonna try and move on from Jordan Binnington in a few years. And I have them picking first goalie in the draft. I have them picking Michael Harabel. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think that's how you pronounce his name. From Czechia, he's a good defenseman. That's a good goalie. His size is, he's a big defenseman, 6'6". He knows how to play. He knows how to save pucks when he can. He's a good defenseman, and he has very long legs, and he takes away the lower portion of the net. He's a good carrier in the net, and it'll be hard to score on because he has like 927 save percentages, 920, 908. Like, he's just going to be a good defenseman in this league, and I feel like a guy like, he's going to play for the University of Massachusetts next year, and I feel like this is a fantastic fit for St. Louis. You get a goalie that will play well, and I love it a lot for St. Louis. Good goalie, fantastic. Would be a good goalie in the future. I would love Montreal to drop this guy, but they traded 31st of all. I would probably have put him in Montreal's rankings if that was there. But I feel like Michael Harabel is the type of goalie that St. Louis could use. A really good goaltender, could stop the puck. He's big. He could easily save the pucks. He's a good blocker. He knows how to. He has very big legs, and he's a tough challenge one that he's hard to play against as a goalie. And I feel like he's very competitive. He's a very competitive goalie, and I feel like this goalie is going to be hard to score on. And I feel like this is a fantastic pick for St. Louis because he brings the goalie into the team, and I love it a lot for St. Louis. That's why I have St. Louis drafting Michael Harabel. Great defensive, good goaltender. I love it for him. Number 30th, from the Carolina Hurricanes. This pick, I feel like, is going to be interesting. And like I said, I think this is going to be a very good pick for them. Because they get a guy that's good. So I have them picking one and only Shelly Schrammel. Shelly Schrammel, damn, this is a good pick. He's a demon on night. Demonstrates high-end hockey IQ and passing all building areas. He has high hockey IQ. He knows around them, immune noise around them, and creates plays for his teammates. He's an offensive threat, and he's a good goal scorer, and he's going to be a great goal scorer in this league. I love this pick a lot for Carolina if they go for him because he's a great offensive threat, and I love this for any team who drafts him because he's a great offensive guy, and I love it a lot. He's a demon on the ice. He's amazing, even though he is small. No, he's not small. He's 6'3". He's a big guy, small area distributor. He's a great offensive guy in the small areas, and I feel like he's a great player, and I feel like that he's good at the offense zone pressures. He creates pressure on the ice, and he's a goal scorer. And fighting at the net, he fights at the net for the deflections. He's a good deflective guy, deflecting goals like tips in, rebounds, or loose pucks. I feel like this is a good guy that will help Carolina. They can use a guy. I feel like they can use another forward on their team, and I really love this pick for Carolina. Shelly Schrammel displays a lot to your net, and I feel like Shelly Schrammel is a good forward, and I feel like they could use a guy like that. That's why I have them, Carolina picking number 30th overall, Shelly Schrammel. We have two more picks of this draft. 31st, and when we went on to the pick that Montreal was originally going to have. And I feel like Colorado can use another forward prospect in the system. A lot of people are not giving this guy too much credit. This guy is another sleeper, in my opinion, of this draft. And I have the picked one and only Seal. I feel like this is a steal of the draft. And I have them picking, like, one and only. I actually have them picking. I feel like this is an interesting pick. So, I have them picking one and only Callum Witchy. I have them picking a seal here, and it's going to be Callum Witchy. Even though this guy is supposed to be a guy that's in the top 15, top 20, but I have this guy being a seal of the draft, and I have them picking Callum Witchy. Callum Witchy is an amazing pick. Like I said, this guy could go earlier in my opinion, but I feel like Callum Witchy is a good pick for Colorado. He's a dirty dog in the ice. He's a center. Amazing pick for Colorado in the future. Can use a center. Great score. Great offensive guy. He has good IQ. His skill in the offensive zone, that means supporting the puck carrier. He's a good puck carrier. He covers his puck with gaps in coverage. Identifies the position himself off puck. He's a good controller of the puck, and he's leveling Jane himself against opponents physically, like cutting through their hands. He takes the puck from them, not physically, but he takes the puck from them like. Yeah, he does. Takes the puck from physically. Even though he's a tall, decent height guy, and putting his team like back on that. He brings the teammates back into the game when they need them the most. He's a competitive guy, and I feel like this would be a fantastic fit for Colorado. And Colorado could use a guy like that. That's why I have them picking that as number 31st. Even though you guys are not going to be happy with this pick, like you guys are not going to be happy. You guys wish that Ethan Gauthier could have been part of my mock draft. And I feel like I said, I feel like that this guy could be a very good pick for any team, and I have them picking, and I have Vegas picking for 32nd overall. But Callum Witchy was the Montreal pick, but I have Vegas picking 32nd overall, the last in the draft. I have them picking Oscar Fisker Margaard, the guy from Denmark. He's a Denmark player. He's played for Denmark. He played a couple Sweden. He played for SHL Sweden. He's played amazing. I love this guy a lot. He's a great offensive player, defensive rotation, and this guy, he's good at taking away people's passes and he's good at turnovers. His opponent uses the strip shot. He has good shots, creates space, supports his line mates. He's a good offensive player. He gives our teammates pressure. I feel like this is a great guy. He's a good defensive zone guy too, and he's a great passer. And like I said, he's good skating, and he's a good takeover, and he's good at sending turnovers, like getting turnovers, and like getting when they pass it to him, he takes the puck off them, and turnovers start to happen. And I feel like this guy could be a machine passer, and set up plays for a team like Vegas, a cup team. I feel like this is beautiful for Vegas. They get a guy that can play well for them in the future, and I love the pick of Oscar Fisker Margaard. I love it a lot. And this is a very good pick for Vegas, in my opinion. I'm sorry that this video almost took an hour. I wanted to be very detailed with this picks. So, and then, like I said, this guy is a very offensive guy. And, like, I feel like this guy would be a great pick for Vegas. It could either be that or Ethan Gauthier, in my opinion. So, this is the video. I hope you guys enjoy. That's why I have Vegas number 32. And this is the first round of my mock draft. So, this is the video. Hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to double like, subscribe, hit notifications. I also think that Colorado could also take Ethan Gauthier for the chance. But he's a great forward, and he's another dog that I feel like that would be a great pick for Colorado. This video, hope you guys enjoy. If you guys did, make sure to double like, subscribe, hit notifications. We will see you guys in the next video, and I'll be live for draft day. See you guys then. Bye, guys.